A challenger stepped into the ring with fire in his eyes and one mission in mind. He swore to destroy Subriel Matias. This wasn't hype. This was a vow made in public, in press conferences, and on fight week. Fans expected fireworks. Critics expected war. The night arrived, the lights came on, and both men stood ready. But what happened once the bell rang shocked everyone. The power, pace, and punishment all unfolded faster than expected. This wasn't just a fight, it became a moment. One that reminded the boxing world just how quickly a plan can fall apart in the ring. In boxing, words aren't just for show, they're weapons. Before this fight, Subriel Matias had been licking his wounds after a rare loss. His knockout streak was intact, but his IBF world title was gone. Losing to Liam Paro had stung deeply, and Matias made it clear. The next man to stand across from him would pay for it. Gabriel Golas Valenzuela was that man. A tough Mexican fighter with a durable record and real grit. He wasn't just showing up for a payday, he came to win, and he wasn't shy about saying it. He dismissed Matias's pressure style in interviews and vowed to break him down. The venue added fuel to the fire. The fight occurred in Fajardo, Puerto Rico, Matias' home territory. The crowd would be wild. The noise would be constant. Valenzuela wasn't just fighting a man, he was fighting the entire room. That takes a certain kind of courage. Both men had something to prove. For Matias, this was about redemption. For Valenzuela, it was about breaking through to the top. This wasn't a title fight, but it felt like one. The winner would become the mandatory challenger for the IBF crown, currently held by Richardson Hitchens. That meant money, fame, and another shot at glory. Leading up to fight night, the trash talk escalated. Matias promised pain. Valenzuela rolled his eyes and promised punishment in return. Training camps intensified. Promoters leaned into the drama. Fans began picking sides. And by the time weigh-ins rolled around, you could feel the tension through the screen. The fight was billed as a clash of styles. Matias the power puncher, Valenzuela the slick counterpuncher. On paper, it was tight. In reality, it turned out to be something else entirely. When both fighters finally stepped into the ring, something was different. Matias looked calm, too calm. Valenzuela looked focused. Then the bell rang, and that's when it started. Matias has never been a first-round firecracker. He usually takes a couple of rounds to find his rhythm. This fight was no different. He moved slowly in the opening 2 rounds, almost like a machine warming up. Valenzuela landed clean jabs and showed good footwork. He even smiled once or twice. He believed he had the upper hand early. In truth, Matias was watching, measuring, waiting. Midway through round 3, Matias shifted gears. A ripping left hook landed flush on Valenzuela's jaw. The challenger staggered slightly. The crowd surged. Matias followed with a sharp body shot, then another hook. The energy inside the arena changed. Valenzuela kept moving, but something in his eyes had shifted. He had tasted the power. Round 4 is where the trouble began. A slicing left hand from Matias opened a gash above Valenzuela's right eye. Blood started to drip, slowly at first, then more rapidly. The referee paused the action and brought in the ringside doctor. The fight continued, but the cut was now a target. Matias zeroed in. He threw punches with purpose, clean shots designed to worsen the injury. Valenzuela's defense slipped. His footwork slowed. His punches lost their snap. Still, he kept fighting back, showing grit. Twice more, the doctor inspected the cut. Twice more, the fight continued. By round 6, Valenzuela's right eye was swelling badly. Blood covered his cheek. His corner worked furiously between rounds. One looked like he was buttering toast with all the Vaseline he used. In round 8, Matias went for the finish. He pinned Valenzuela near the ropes and unleashed a savage flurry. Left hand, uppercut, left again. Valenzuela's knees bent, his arms dropped. One more left hand snapped his head sideways. The referee stepped in just as the towel flew from the corner. It was over at 2:55 of the 8th round. Matias roared. The crowd erupted. The vow had been fulfilled. The reaction came fast. Within minutes, clips of the knockout flooded social media. Analysts praised Matias's performance. Fans called it one of his most vicious wins. The cut, the power, the finish, it was all there. Matias didn't just win, he made a statement.
Matias!
He wanted the world to know he was still a dangerous force in the division. The post-fight interviews were short but loud. He didn't hesitate. He called out Richardson Hitchens by name, adding a few words not suitable for polite company. Let's just say you wouldn't want him reading a bedtime story to your kids. Valenzuela's team handled the loss with class. They praised their fighter's courage, and rightly so. He fought through blood, pain, and a storm of punches that would have folded most men. The medical team later confirmed he was okay, just bruised and stitched. Sports media headlines were bold. Some focused on the cut, others focused on the ferocity of the 8th round. A few asked the obvious question, can anyone survive that kind of pressure from Matias for 12 rounds? The talk about a title shot picked up instantly. Matias was now back in the mandatory spot. Hitchens was next in line. The narrative was ready. The pressure fighter versus the smooth boxer. Two completely different styles. One ring, one winner. The fight had reminded everyone what makes Matias special. He doesn't outpoint you. He doesn't tap and dance. He walks through you and leaves a message behind. And in this case, that message was loud and clear. The next fight for Matias is already in motion. He's scheduled to face Alberto Puello, a skilled opponent and another big name in the weight class. That fight, set to occur in New York, will either reinforce Matias's comeback or throw the division into further chaos. But the fight everyone wants is Matias versus Richardson Hitchens. The two have been circling each other for months. Now it feels inevitable. One brings the pain, the other brings the angles. If it happens, it could be one of the year's most anticipated junior welterweight fights. There's buzz around future matchups with stars like Devin Haney, Regis Prograis, and Josh Taylor. Everyone's watching now. Matias has brought excitement back to the division. He's not here to box clean. He's here to make it ugly and win anyway. Despite the loss, Valenzuela might get another chance down the road. A few more wins and he could be back in the picture. Boxing doesn't have a memory, it has a highlight reel. All he needs is one good night to get back in the mix. As for Matias, he has learned from the loss to Liam Paro. His camp has tightened up, his footwork has improved, his combinations are sharper. Most of all, his mindset has changed. No more slow starts, no more second chances. He's treating every fight like it's his last shot at greatness. And based on what he just did to Valenzuela, you can bet his next opponent won't sleep easily. Subriel Matias didn't just win a fight, he sent a message. His performance against Valenzuela was a brutal reminder of what happens when someone underestimates his power, patience, and pressure. Every top contender at 140 pounds is now officially on notice. He's sharper, smarter, and more dangerous than ever. There's no room for comfort when Matias is coming forward. Whether it's Hitchens, Puello, or any other rising star, they all face the same reality. This is a man who doesn't just fight to win, he fights to finish, and when he does, it's rarely pretty. Consider yourselves warned. He made a promise. He would destroy Subriel Matias. But by the end of the night, Valenzuela stood broken, and Matias stood tall. A slow start turned into a violent finish. The blood, the power, and the 8th round ending all stunned fans. This wasn't just a comeback. It was a reminder of who Matias is and his capabilities. And now, with his eyes set on the title, one thing is certain. Whenever he steps into the ring, something brutal will happen. You may want popcorn. You may also want a helmet. If you enjoyed this breakdown, like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts below. Who do you think survives 12 rounds with Subriel Matias?